Okay, so I just have to say, I am from the working class. My family, I grew up and am from Newark, New Jersey. Nork, for those of us from the area. That's N-O-R-K, if you didn't understand the pronunciation. That's how we pronounce it. Anyway, what that means is, and I grew up, it doesn't matter. The point being, I am the poster child of a person who grew up actually in a really not in a very multicultural world, but in a white community, growing up very much like a white-centric world. And not in the world that, even though we're very segregated and we all tend to grow up in these little pockets still, it was a very different consciousness then. So anyway, I'm a really good example of a non-woke person. But a person who also was fundamentally transformed by what I learned about the world and what I hadn't known growing up, right? So for me, growing up in Newark, for those of you who don't know, it's very much a black city, and when I was growing up, it was really transforming. And so for me, as a white person, the issues of race, white people and black people in the U.S. was like what I grew up in, and in a very embroiled time when there was uprisings, if you will, from other people's perspectives, riots in that city. So anyway, that's just the background for you. I've also, so I'm very, very much, my life is built on and I'm very connected to the race issues in the United States and what I've learned about, done. I've also had the opportunity to travel a lot. And so that has also shown me a lot of the limitations of the way we think about some things. Anyway, what I know is that the more polarized we are, the more dangerous it is for all of us. And the less likely we think that it is our job to build bridges with people who don't think like us and who we don't value how they think, the more dangerous it is for all of us. And I do mean dangerous. And I don't mean I just don't feel comfortable in a situation. I mean dangerous. Because when people are polarized, what happens is a power vacuum between them, and usually dark forces hijack that power vacuum. And we see it all over the world, and we just saw it in New Zealand when the person who did that shooting at the mosque pretty much said that. And most people, ordinary people, are not thinking about the fact that, oh, the point is, if we humans do not reach out to people whose ideas we don't value, no matter who you are, you have that group of people, we all do, we make it more dangerous. That's the basic bottom line of what I could say about all things that I've learned since growing up in that conflict in Newark. Mm-hmm. So let me say before I answer. So one of the things that I'm going to say something parallel to this. What we don't see in the world is the way a lot of the world is built around, I'm going to say men. And why I know that is because we don't account for cycling people, right? When you're a woman, you're on a cycle every day of the month. Every day is a different day. Day 1, day 5, day 9, day 28. There's no day that's like yesterday, right? And for men, you don't have that like constant cycle. So if you just think about healthcare, we think, hey, take this medicine and let me know how you're doing in 3 weeks. Well, for a woman, 3 weeks from now, I'm in a different part of my cycle. I can't tell you how I'm doing because I'm going to be doing differently no matter what medicine I'm taking, right? And so the idea being like we really need to think in so many ways, medicine is just one, about the difference between cycling people and non-cycling people, right? But we're sort of centered on a human who doesn't have a cycle, which tends to be men, right? Even though we're not thinking that. So just in the way we talk about things a lot, if you're a woman, you think, they're not really talking about me because I have a cycle. So it's going to take me 3 cycles to figure out if something helped me, if this medicine helped, right? Okay, so you get that, right? There's a difference between cycling people and non-cycling people, but we never talk about the cycling people. With race, so this is just to people who are in any majority, and in this case, white people. You know, so many things are like that we don't talk about white people maybe, but things are centered. We can see that, oh, the assumption of that person is that's a white person. Or, you know, the alternative or the other culture or the people who are different, that just assumes normal is white, normal is male, normal is heterosexual. It's the same thing, right? That's it. I would just say we still have a center. Center is American. Other people, foreign people, right? And again, and that's kind of normal. But I would just say that.
So here you are. There you are in Ethiopia. Here you are in Qatar. Here you are in India. And here you are in Iraq, speaking live on Iraqi television, right? What have you learned from all of this? What have you learned? And you got just your 1-minute answer. What have you learned about the world from all of, and beyond and beyond and beyond? This person who never wanted to travel.
Yeah, who never wanted to travel. That there is, what have I learned? That there is no one to fear. Period. There's no one to fear. I mean, that's it. There's no people who are scary. There's no culture who is threatening. There's no place that is scary. It's just like people are just, there's no one. I'm not afraid of anyone.